For centuries, deep within the heart of a shadowy jungle, a vampire named Velcor had lived alone, feeding on the blood of wild beasts, bats, wolves, snakes, and even panthers. But their blood was thick, bitter, and without the richness he longed for. He had grown tired of its taste. One night, under a pale, full moon, Velka stood on a high rock, licking blood from his long fingers. He stared toward the glowing lights far beyond the trees, the distant city. A new hunger stirred in him. "The jungle has gone stale," he growled. "It's time to taste something fresher." With his long black cloak billowing behind him and his red eyes gleaming in the moonlight, Velka soared silently over the treetops, heading toward the city like a dark shadow. As he approached the edge of the city, he landed quietly on a quiet beach. Waves lapped softly against the shore. An old man sat on a wooden bench, fishing rod in hand, humming a lonely tune. Velker approached him from the darkness. The old man looked up, startled by the pale figure. "Good evening," Velker said, his fangs glinting. "I have come to drink your blood." The old man blinked. "My blood? Son, I'm old and dry as dust. It wouldn't even fill a teacup. Try the city young people everywhere, full of strength and flavor." Velka leaned closer to sniff him. He smelled like salt and seaweed and thyme. "Ah," Velker sneered. "You're right. Too old." With a hiss, he vanished into the night, leaving the old man staring in disbelief. Not far from the beach, Velker spotted a construction worker, covered in sweat and dirt, taking a break by the roadside. He landed softly beside him. "You," Velker said, licking his lips. "You look alive. May I have a taste?" The worker jumped in fear but tried to reason with the vampire. "Sir, I'm a poor laborer. My blood is thin. I barely eat enough to stay standing. If you're really hungry, go a bit farther. There's a grand castle beyond the hills. A princess lives there. She's young, healthy, and royal. Her blood must be sweet like honey." Velker's eyes gleamed. A princess! The thought thrilled him. Royal blood? Clean, rich, refined. It would be the finest meal he had ever had. Without another word, he turned toward the castle and flew into the air, black wings stretching wide. The castle stood tall on a hill, golden lights flickering in the windows. When Velka landed outside the main gates, guards and servants saw him and screamed in terror. "A monster!" someone yelled. "It's a vampire!" cried another. People scattered. The streets emptied, windows shut. No one dared stop him as he marched up the palace steps. Inside the grand throne room stood Princess Aurelia, young, wise, and brave. Her emerald green dress sparkled in the candlelight, but her eyes were calm, sharp, and steady. Velker burst through the doors. "Princess!" he declared, baring his fangs. "I've come to drink your blood." The guards froze. Maids hid behind pillars. Everyone expected her to scream, but she didn't. Instead, Princess Aurelia stepped forward slowly. Her voice was soft, but clever. "If you drink my blood in front of my people, they will be heartbroken. But I will not fight you. Come with me, and I will offer you my blood. Somewhere private." Velker paused. He didn't expect this. "No begging, no fear? Very well," he said, intrigued. The princess led him out of the castle, past the gardens, down a quiet stone path toward the edge of the estate. "There is an old well beyond this wall," she explained. "It has long since dried up. I will go down into it, and you may drink my blood there away from the eyes of my people." Velker, imagining the rich taste of royal blood, nodded eagerly. When they reached the well, the moon shone down, casting shadows across the broken stones. The well's opening was wide but deep, once a source of clean water. It had now turned into a hollow pit. Princess Aurelia stood at the edge. "Climb down," she said. "I'll follow." Velker stepped over the edge and dropped into the well, using the stones as footholds. But as soon as he landed inside, splashed, he sank into thick, sticky mud. "What is this?" he hissed, struggling. "This is not stone, it's quicksand." The bottom of the well had turned to muddy swamp, soft and wet, and the more he thrashed, the faster he sank. Princess Aurelia looked down at him, her expression calm. This well dried long ago. Now it is nothing but sinking sand. You wanted my blood, vampire, but I wanted to save my people. Velcor growled and tried to leap upward, but the mud pulled at his legs like chains. You tricked me, he shouted. No, she said. I outsmarted you, he screamed in rage, claws flailing, but it was too late. With every second, the mud crept higher. His pale hands disappeared. Then his chest, then his face. And with a final angry roar, Velcor sank beneath the surface, swallowed by the earth. Silence followed. Then, the princess turned and walked back to the castle. The villagers, hiding behind trees and rocks, had seen it all. When they realized what had happened, they erupted in cheers. Bells rang in the tower. Flowers were thrown from balconies. The vampire was gone. The kingdom was safe. And Princess Aurelia became a legend not just for her beauty, but for her wisdom, courage, and clever mind. That night, fires were lit in celebration. Songs were sung about the princess who had defeated a vampire not with swords, but with her intelligence. Moral of the story: evil may come in many forms, but true strength lies in courage, kindness, and clever thinking.